No, welcome back again. Time to unlearn what you have learned. And, today I've been seeing all this stuff come out about this situation. And I heard about it when, obviously when it first happened. And it's so unfortunate, that these two young men got into a situation and, one of them is not here with us anymore. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. People have, kind of spoke on that and testified to what they saw and so on and so forth. Saying that he was the aggressor. That could be, a very good possibility. But we also have to understand is how people work and the kind of stuff that people do. People will say things to you. They will do things to you. Now, necessarily it doesn't harm you, but it does irritate you and, so on and so forth. And, people will pick on you and do things to get a rise up out of you. And then when they do, the most time, the first thing they want to do is take out their cameras and they want to film you, even when they are in the wrong. Now, what happens after that is like this guy did, he retaliated and found himself in trouble. Now, me being a black man, I'm not going to condone any of that. I don't even know why these people decided to condone it, because once again, you put yourself in a situation where you weren't in fear of your life. You weren't defending yourself. You just went after a person, as far as I know. So I'm speaking on the things that I've heard so far and the information that was gathered. And then now they're trying to say that it wasn't fair. It's like you killed a man. You killed someone else. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Unless you were trying to defend yourself. And I have another example on that one. There was a case out here that happened with a guy, and he was smiling in his mugshot here in Arizona. And he saying he defended himself. Well, in a way he did. Even though he got to, shoot off some rounds and whatever else, the guy came walking up on his car. That's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to do that. So, once again, these kinds of things happen. There's all these different scenarios and stuff like that, but you have to be smart enough to take the high road if possible. If you have to defend yourself, then that's one thing. Obviously, this kid did not have to defend himself because he went after the person, which, once again, it's all part of that legion spirit, that evil spirit. That's why we're going through these things that we're going through back and forth. Who's right, who's wrong. The people, right from wrong. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. That's it. These people, his family, shouldn't be sitting there trying to say that, it's unfair and this and that. Bruh, you killed a person. That's it. That's it. Unless you got some kind of thing backing you there, some kind of information or, whatever. Like I said, you have to defend yourself, which that's not the case. You pretty much killed a person. Regardless of what they did, regardless of what they said, it don't matter. And I know people do that kind of stuff all the time. They will say stuff to you and, whatever, and go after you and try to get under your skin to piss you off. And when stuff gets real, they want to break out the camera, they want to record you, they want to do all this other stuff. I've seen it happen so many times. It's happened to me a number of different times. I'm just like, wow, okay. Even though you're wrong, you're going to sit there and try to turn it around on me like I'm wrong. It happens all the time. And people need to stop playing games. That's pretty much it. Because when you play games, one day it might be your last game that you play. That's it. That is it. Now, unfortunately, both sides on this situation are wrong. Both sides on the situation are right. But once again, you chose to go the way of darkness. You chose to go the way of evil instead of doing the right thing, taking the high road on the situation, on the the convicted, this young man that was convicted. All you had to say was, as far as I'm concerned, he killed a person. Now he has to pay the price for that. Now from there, do I think it's unfair? Yes, I do. Will you agree with that? You probably don't. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be humble. You have to be humble in these kinds of things. And it's all about how you say it, when you say it, and so on and so forth. That's it. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have said that. I would have just said, you know what? he killed a person. No matter what the situation is, he made the wrong decision. Period. This young man that you see on the right of your screen, no matter what he was going, or no matter what he was doing, whatever else, no one deserves death in that kind of situation. Now, I will say that because we're all sinners, we're all doomed to death. That's automatic. But then again, there's another saying, it's like, you never know when your last day is going to come up. You never know. So your best bet is to be as polite and as nice as you can to people, and only defend yourself when you have to. Do not agitate a person. Do not agitate a situation. Do not agitate anything. Leave people alone. That is your best bet. And if you ain't going to leave people alone, your best bet is to be polite, to be nice. And we already know there's a lot of rude Mickey Fickies out there. There's a lot of them. They don't care. They will do crazy junk and so on and so forth. They could be having a bad day and take it out on you. It's crazy. It's absolutely craziness. And you, like I said, you never know when your last day is. Stop playing with people. That's my best information I can give to you. Because in most cases, this young man on the right, he was probably doing some crazy junk. I have myself been through these kinds of things. I'll tell you one little story. I used to go, when I was younger, I went to a Mormon church. And there was this young girl who invited me. And I liked her. And I thought, hey, okay, I'll go ahead and, show up. You know what happened? These dudes picked on me. And they embarrassed me in front of the whole, Mormon church. Just because of the fact that I wasn't Mormon and this young lady liked me. Now, in that situation, could I have retaliated? Sure. But I knew exactly what the situation was. I had the odds against me. And so they knew. They knew that too. They knew I had the odds against me. You know what I did? I took the high road. I turned around. I went up to the girl. I said, hey, you know what? This probably isn't a good idea anyway. And I left. That's it. But I could have retaliated. I could have went down and kicked all they butts. Because you never know. You're messing with people. You never know what's going on in their life. Leave people alone. That's it. And this whole race thing, right from wrong. People keep saying black fatigue and this kind of stuff, that kind of stuff. The guy, the father of the son, the guy on the right, he was getting attacked, and and it's like he was trying to start off on a positive note in the beginning. It's just people, man. People is what's wrong with this world, and it just gets worse. We're in the days of Noah now. People don't care about anything else but themselves. They only want to say something or speak up when it's them that's going through the situation. When it's someone else going through the situation, they got nothing to say. They got not nothing to say. And it's unfortunate because, once again, like his father said, we're all people at the end of the day. That's it. Don't matter what color you are, no matter what nationality you are, no matter what religion you are, none of that. It don't matter. The fact of the matter is what's right and what's wrong. That's it. It's not that hard. If I go rob a bank, am I going to get in trouble for that? Most likely. Could I possibly get away with it? Possibly. But the fact of the matter is, if I get caught, I will go to jail. I will have to go to court. The cops will come get me. It's not that hard to figure out. Anyways, I'm out.